Whew. Great. Yeah, here I am again, finally. Some guys already pointed out in chat that it's been a really long time. I hope you can hear me well. After not using the whole streaming setup for so long, I'm kind of not sure if everything's working properly, but yeah, I hope so. I hope you can hear me and everything's fine. It's a little quiet. Okay, I can turn it up a little bit. Hello. Uh, you're breathtaking. You're breathtaking. Cool. So thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So surprise, surprise. I'm releasing a song on Monstercat, and before I answer your questions, I have a little problem with the word questions for some reason. I don't know why. So before I answer your questions, I'm just gonna answer some very obvious questions, and that would be. You're breathtaking. That would be, first of all, that I pointed also out in the announcement. Why am I releasing on Monstercat? And the other question is, why haven't I released a Monstercat before? So let me start with that question first. It was sort of random that I never released a Monstercat because I have been a fan for a really long time. Basically, Monstercat started becoming big when I started becoming an artist myself in 2012, and I always loved their music a lot. But at that time, I was doing mostly remixes, and so that were not like I was doing remixes for other artists, and I never had the opportunity to pitch any of them to Monstercat. And then the other reason was usually I don't really release a lot of songs, and it usually takes me way too long for me to release a song, to finish a song. And so what I usually do is when I finally have a song finished, I usually don't have the patience to submit it to a record label to then find a release schedule. So some of you know that I worked with Universal recently, but that was another situation where, because I knew as soon as I submit a song, they would immediately release it. But like if you go to a label like Monstercat and you submit a song and then you wait for them to release, you can easily think, okay, it will take probably like 2 or 3 months from the submission to the final release. So whenever I finished a song, I just didn't really have the patience to submit it there. Except one time, some of you probably know that I submitted Monody to Monstercat, but that was a really early version of Monody. Like at that point, I was at a point with the song I thought I couldn't do anymore. That was basically before a vacation. I thought, okay, I just have to finish this song. I had to work 2 months on the song. This is it. I'm just gonna submit it to Monstercat and go on vacation, and then see how they like it. When I came back from vacation, I was like, okay, this song is not finished, and I gave the song another 3 months to make it the version that it is today. So I don't know if they purposefully skipped on Monody or if they like overlooked it or anything, but the reason it wasn't like they overlooked the final Monody, like they didn't realize how successful it would be, because the version I submitted to them was completely different. It was pretty bad, actually. So that was the only time I reached out to Monstercat. And it was always very obvious for me that I want to release with them at some point, at least, because our fan base is so similar, right? Usually when I release a song, it's one of the main topics on their Reddit, even though I'm an unrelated artist sort of thing, but because our fan bases are so close, it was always a thing where I said, hey, I really want to release with them one day. And so with this song, the reason was that it was more, to those who heard it already, it's more bass heavy. And I thought, okay, I could release it on the Arcadium, but it doesn't really fit to the Arcadium. And so when I finished the song together with Slated and Angeli, I said, okay, this is going to be the one. I really wanted to be a Monstercat, and yeah, I submitted it, and I also tweeted about it to make them aware that it's actually me submitting the song, so it doesn't get like lost in the system for some reason, like somebody saying, oh, haha, somebody tried to submit a song pretending he's TheFatRat and then just deleting it without ever listening to it or stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure, okay, that they know that it's me who actually submitted the song. And yeah, and here we are. So they really like the song, and I'm super, super happy to get this started as well. And if you're wondering, will I be only releasing with Monstercat from now on? No, definitely not. I will also release, of course, on the Arcadium, my own label, other songs. And I also have some work going on with Enter Records, this joint venture between Universal Music and ESL, very esports driven. So I will release at least one more or two more songs that I'm working with. Let me put it like that. I have 2 more songs that I'm working on with them, but I definitely want to release more with Monstercat as well whenever a song fits. So for me, it's very important that a song fits to the label where it's released on. And whenever I have a song where I think, okay, this is a great fit for Monstercat, I'm going to submit it. And if they like it, I'm going to release more. Yeah. So this is basically the story so far. So we have watched and downloaded more than 5 million. Okay. So now it's time. Now it's time to ask your questions. So this is basically the main story behind it's still a walker. Can we mute that thing here? I don't have a moderator. This is horrible. Let me see. Can I click here? I didn't know it would be so bad. Yeah. So now it's blocked. Okay, so if you have any questions, just type them into chat. Somewhat specific. The chat is so fast. So I sent to pick a few promotions. Chat is moving a little fast, and I'm reading too slow. Hi, TheFatRat. Is Arcadium able to release generous NCS progressive house, or you don't want it? Basically, we would do progressive house on the Arcadium. It depends. I mean, just listen to a couple of the Arcadium tracks. They have a certain vibe that connects them, and it can be a progressive house track that also connects to them. Like, not every progressive house, but some definitely. I mean, just submit it. If you think it fits, then just submit it. Like I always say, that it's really important that you find the right track, like the right label for the right track. So don't focus too much on on the label by default, but make a track. And if you think, hey, the track is amazing and it really fits that one specific label, then reach out to that one. But for the Arcadium, we are not going for one specific genre. It's more like an overall feeling. Do you ever plan to actually confirm of the stories behind your songs, or you just want to keep it to yourself for eternity and let the fans speculate forever? No. So he's talking about the artwork stories. So the artworks that I have, they tell a certain story. I definitely want to reveal more of that, and that is supposed to be done through music videos, which I'm planning at the moment, but I cannot give you too much detail about it yet, but I definitely want to tell more about that. Can you show us your studio? So basically, we're in my studio right now. I don't want to get crazy with the camera right now. It's just because it's set up properly at the moment. But I basically have here a screen and speakers, and here I have a keyboard in front of me, and that's basically my studio, and good headphones. But I don't even use the speakers a lot. I use the headphones mainly. I may already know the answer, but I take the new Monstercat release you're doing won't be available on Newgrounds Geometry Dash. That's a good question. I haven't figured that out with Monstercat. I will just ask them if that's okay. One thing might be interesting for you, because I got a couple of comments in that direction. Because people said, oh, no, it's a Monstercat. It's not free on YouTube anymore. Wrong. It will be free on YouTube. So I talked with Monstercat about it, and they understood that my music is, people are used that my music is free on YouTube, and so my specific release will be as well free on YouTube and free to use. And usually I like people to share my music, and I will, even where it's not in the agreement yet, I will at least ask them if we can, just let it go and let everybody use it. So I'm trying to keep up with the chat. If I don't answer your question, sorry, it's a little too fast at the moment to answer everything. If there will be in custom music pack Dota. So the question is basically, will I do another Dota 2 music pack? I don't know yet. I'm not focused on it. I really want to focus more on original music at the moment. Do we have any bots anymore? Let me scroll down. Let me see. Maybe. Okay. I think the bot should be blocked by now. Sorry for that. Give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll be there. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitch for quite a while, as you can tell. How do how do I make someone a moderator? Yeah, I thought I blocked them. Yeah, no, actually I want to make just some of you bots for now. Some people, I also know some of you from my Discord server and stuff. So, and we definitely need a mod now. I never needed one so far, but this is really annoying. I thought I blocked them. I don't know how to ban. I just want to make some. So if you can just give me a real quick. So now the stream is about TheFatRat Googling how to make someone a moderator on Twitch. Here we go. Make Twitch moderator. Hope you find this super exciting. Setting up moderation on Twitch. Moderation is key to successfully managing your Twitch community and maintaining compliance with Twitch community guidelines. Blah, blah, blah. So, no, I don't want automod. I want to make someone a moderator. This is automod. Other important chat moderation settings, chat rules, chat delay, ban chatters, privacy settings. How do I make someone a moderator? Block hyperlinks, chat rules, chat delay, managing channel mods. Pick someone reliable. Communication is key. So how do I do it? There we go. So And who? Yeah. Okay, almost got it. Almost got it. Give me a second. Because here's one. So, Legendary LOL is now a moderator. He's also the moderator of my Discord community, so I trust him. Yay! So, I think now the X-Hamster will be banned soon. Okay, so now you can just post your questions again. Will there ever be more live performance? I missed you in New York and Webster Hall. At some point, certainly. Right now, I'm super happy to be in the studio. And I just want to switch from studio mode into touring mode at some point. For me, it's a little different than for most DJs who have more support on the production side. So I really need a lot of time in the studio. Hey, Legendary, I still get those X-Hamster messages. Ah, there you go. Already blocked. Yeah, mod do something. So yeah, I really plan that. I know I've been telling this for a while that I'm gonna tour at some point again. But what I want to have at some point is like a stack of tracks that are ready to release. A couple of tracks, and okay, those like I can go on tour and for 3 months, and there will not be a huge gap in my releases. So that's my main goal. And at the moment, I'm getting more and more into this position because I have a couple more tracks that are finished or almost finished. And maybe by the end of this year, I will focus on touring again. But I cannot promise that. Okay, cool. More questions. Rate the Minecraft soundtrack 1 to 10. I would rate it a 10. I think Minecraft soundtrack is absolutely amazing. Someone's asking, ADE stands for the one. So ADE, I mean, you probably mean Amsterdam Dance Event. Yeah, I'll be at Amsterdam Dance Event. I don't know if I will play any shows there yet, but I will definitely be there because there are so many people that I know, and it's always a lot of fun to be there. Yeah, probably we should enable slow mode. Legendary, can you do that? Chat is just moving too fast. Are you planning to be doing more streams like before, or is the plan dead? I don't think I'm going to do more exactly the same streams that I did before, because they just were a little too much work and they distracted me from my music production. Because I had to prepare them, because I was like reproducing songs that I produced before, so I would actually sit down for like 2 hours and go through the whole song and see what I'm gonna do in the live production. So I needed some preparation. So I'm not gonna do that again. I could maybe I'll do more streaming. I mean, on the one hand, I really would like to do that, but the big problem is it keeps me from actually music production, like fully focused on music production. And you might think, hey, you could also produce and stream at the same time. But for me, producing is a thing where I'm just completely, I get lost in the music sort of thing. And when I have a chat that I follow and I chat with people on the side and stuff like that, it's not the same anymore. So I will not do that. Maybe I will, I might want to go more on Twitch just randomly, maybe at some point. But it's not planned at the moment. Cool. Simple question. What program do you use to make music? Ableton Live. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun to use it. General thing about DAWs, digital audio workstations, as those programs are called, like Ableton Live, Logic, as FL Studio. A general thing about this is they are all great. The only difference is the like how you handle them, and you can make amazing music with all of those softwares. One only difference is if you want to do a lot of live recordings, I would not recommend Ableton Live or FL Studio or Bitwig. Those are more for electronic music. If you want to do real live recordings, I would rather recommend Logic or Cubase or Pro Tools. And Bitwig, Ableton, and FL Studio, they are more for electronic music production. Yeah, are we ever getting the TheFatRat tutorials? Very experienced levels. Not so soon. Like I said before, like all the questions, are we gonna get this? Are we gonna get that? I'm really focused on music, and I'm very happy that I'm focused on music at the moment. I will also be a little more quiet on social media, but what you can expect on the other side is more music and good music. Yeah. That's my main goal, to make like really good music, and I make the best music when I'm really focused. That means that I'm not distracted by doing a ton of other things. Did you start something with Kashmir? Yeah, I came into the studio with an idea and we worked on that one, and we are actually working on that one. I just sent him another version yesterday, and he also sent me 3 of his ideas, or we went through a couple of his ideas that I also have. So yeah, we're working on songs. I don't know if anything's gonna come out of it, or if anything's gonna be released. You never know that. But we're working on songs tonight. But I hope that something will come out of it. I'm pretty positive about it. Was there anyone or anything that inspired you to make music? For me, music has always been the one thing that I was good in, basically from when I was like 3 years old. And in school, I was really bad for a long time in anything else. So I really early had the idea that this is what I'm going to do professionally, just because it was the only thing that I could do. Like my grades were like C, and basically like in German, like almost a fail, close to a fail, and music was usually an A, so that was the only thing that was good, and the rest was really bad. Yeah, so that was the reason why I started making music. Can you make tutorials to make music in Ableton Live? I have another YouTube channel. It's called TheFatRat Vlog. And I uploaded a couple of the streams there where I produce music. So you can have a little insight into my music production process. Although it was the Dota 2 music pack, which is a little different because the songs were a little simpler, and more how I produce ideas. So when I really finish a song, it's still a little different thing. But I always think that people probably, it sounds more exciting, like, you think it would be exciting to have a look at it, how I work, but when you actually have a look at it, it's probably pretty boring. Because it's just like a million little details, and every detail by itself doesn't really make a lot of difference. So the work itself is kind of tedious when you look at it from the outside. For me, it's super exciting, but from the outside, it's really tedious. So I doubt that a lot of people would find it very exciting. I think it's way more exciting to listen to the music when it's done. Do you use grooves in Ableton to create your melodies, or do you come up with them on your own? So there are those, I don't know what you mean by grooves. So there's the groove that shuffles the rhythm. I use that. Yeah, usually like at least for glitch hop. So I usually use the Logic 16th 62 to 64 shuffle, or the MPC 16th 64 to 62 to 64 shuffle. Yeah. Any hopes for Breath of the Wild 2? You tweeted about it. What you think about the trailer looks? Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Breath of the Wild is definitely one of my favorite games ever. It's amazing. If you haven't played it, it's really a reason to get the Twitch. Yeah, so I hope that they're gonna be as it's gonna be as good. But that's the amazing thing about Nintendo, that their big games like Mario or Zelda, they're always good. Like I never had a really bad Mario game or a bad Zelda game. They're always amazing. So that's a great thing for them to accomplish. And so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Do you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? If so, are you good at it? Yes, I have it. And no, I'm not good at it because I haven't played it a lot. So it's pretty random. Hey Chris, would you recommend the Spitfire Artist String and Brass VST for hobby producers worth money? Those two are $550 together. It depends. They're really good. They're really good. You can do a lot of things. So I can only tell you they're good. It really depends on how much money you have and what you want to do with it. But they're good. So I think for me, they were definitely worth the money. You have built such a huge audience. Why give a cut to a label now? For me, it's never been really about the money. The funny thing is, when I started releasing my own original music, starting with Unity, Unity has been released on SoundCloud, and it's been for download for free since September 2014, and it went up on Spotify about 6 months later. Why? Because I thought the song's for free. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna put out the music for free because I'm happy with my life, and the one big goal I had, just wanted him to make music for the sake of making music. And then I got messages on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and asking, hey, I couldn't find the song on Spotify, and I was like, yeah, it's no problem. You can just download it for free, and you can then put it into Spotify. And then I got the same message the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, 2 messages, everybody asking, hey, I cannot find it on iTunes, I cannot find it on Spotify. So after 6 months, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna upload it there. And then it became, pretty successful. So it made me quite a bit of money. But I didn't, wasn't the purpose to make money. Like that wasn't the main goal. So yeah, why give a cut to the label? Because it's not so much about the cut that I get, not unless the cut's really unfair from the label. Like some labels try to get like 80% or even more. That I wouldn't give that away. But it's for every song, like I said before, I think it's really important that the song gets a good home, like a label that fits to it, and an audience that fits to it. And I really wanted this song to be heard by the Monster Cat community. And that's why I thought, okay, let's see if Monster Cat wants to release it. You thought about making just songs from Geometry Dash, like specific creators in the game make their own levels around it. As far as I know, some of my songs have been quite popular on Geometry Dash, but I wouldn't sit down and make a song specifically for Geometry Dash. I think my music is usually intended to stand on its own. And then if it fits somewhere in a Geometry Dash or whatever, that's usually the next step, but the music should usually stand on its own. Someone's asking, how's the family? It's amazing. Yeah, we are doing fantastic. Thank you very much. What VST do you use in Monody? Quite a few, but the main lead, that one, that is Gladiator 2, which is a great synthesizer, which is not so popular. So I definitely recommend to take a look at it. It's called just Gladiator, like the Gladiator 2, that one. What else do we have? What artists? What artists haven't you worked with yet and would like to work with in the future? That's a good question. I would love to make a song with Icona Pop, vocalists, so not producers. For producers, there's one specific. He's just so incredibly successful. It's Max Martin. Probably he's not an artist, like not an artist producer. He just produces for other people. But he's been basically the world's most successful music producer since my teenage days. So he started with all the big Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and then went on with Pink. He did It's My Life from Bon Jovi, up to now to Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber, and so on and so on. So he's been like dominating the music market for decades, basically more than 2 decades. And that's just incredibly impressive. And yeah, I would love to work in the studio with him at some point, just to learn from him, because he's really, really good in what he's doing. Okay. Would you ever do a fan meeting somewhere? Me and my friend Luke are great fans. Yeah, I sometimes did that already when I played live shows. So yeah, when I play live shows and I travel around, I would probably do more fan meetings. I would usually have someone to organize that. Oh, the hamster idiot is back. Oh, it's already been banned again. Oh, a good question. Who is Slated and how do you know him? Slated is my mentoree. So he moved to my hometown I agreed to be his mentor, and he came here to my hometown to Göttingen to learn music production from me, which doesn't mean that I actually teach him everything, which would be a teacher thing, but a mentoree. So I taught him which steps to go. Like, here are some tutorials you should work through, and now reverse engineer a couple of songs, and now like how do you take the experience from reverse engineering and put it into a new song, and all those things. And yeah, that's how it developed. And so that's also how the song happened. Really good question. So he came up with the initial idea for the bass line. The bass line was slightly different at that time, and the rest was completely different of the song. And he was basically a little stuck with the song. We developed it over time together. So I told him, hey, change this and that. And at some point he was like, oh, I'm stuck with the song. Then I said, hey, you know what? Just send over the stems and I'm just give it like a last polishing. And I thought it would still be for him as an artist. But when I worked with the stems, it got more and more into the song. I changed more and more stuff on the song. And so at some point I said, you know what, let's just make a collaboration, because I'm contributed so much to it. And then I also did the whole intro and the vocal part and all that part. That's all from my work, and but the drop idea, that's from him. Yeah. So that's him, and that's how the whole track also happened. And then when I was in Los Angeles, I had basically the track prepared for the vocals, and Angelie and we wrote the melody together, and then basically she wrote the lyrics and sang the song, and that's how it all happened. What else do we have? I don't understand this question. Let me see if I have something else. How do you come up with the titles for your songs? Usually the titles sort of just come to me. It's hard to explain. It's usually when the song is finished. I usually have a working title, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And then when the song's finished, it's sort of obvious what the final song title will be. It's like you pick up a certain word, or it's part of the lyrics or something. It's at some point it's just there. Hard to explain. So yes, Mind Polls, I just read your questions about the Arcadium. Yeah, man, just submit the songs. And if we don't take it, submit it somewhere else. And if you will certainly find someone to release a song. There are so many smaller labels and channels out there. If you just submit it to enough people who like where it fits and it's good, then someone will definitely take it. If everybody turns it down, then just get back into the studio and focus more on making music. Just try to figure out why it's not convincing. And by the way, when you make a song, that's just a little advice from my song: make it so it grabs the listener's attention like in the first second, ideally. So it starts and it's like, oh wow, or at least in the first 5 seconds. If you have like a 30 seconds intro already, where it's like nothing happening, and you think like, oh yeah, but after 2 minutes it's getting interesting, that's might be hard to place the song. Any expectations, predictions for the Elder Scrolls 6? I hope they don't screw it up, seriously. After Fallout 76, it's not Nintendo-ish where like, oh, you can rely on them, that's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I hope they don't screw it up. We'll see. But I'm super, super stoked about Cyberpunk. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be amazing. Question about starting with alias in music industry. Is a good choice to start as a self-published artist and stay this way for more than a few years. What do you mean by self-published? Do you mean like because publishing usually refers to the composition of the song? Do you mean that, or do you mean like using no label and just self-releasing the songs without a label? That would be the question. Yeah, you can type it again. What's the name? Some question real quick. Is it possible to ever get your project files? I kind of have looking at the various layers into a good song makes it. Yeah, so I'm gonna make the stems, like the complete stems, public for a couple of songs that I released recently. I'm gonna make a lot of that public soon, and you can find some of that already. I think for Unity I have the stems public. You should find the link under the music video, I think, but I will make more of that public, definitely. Favorite music genre that you haven't released in? That would be singer-songwriter. I really like like guitar and singing, but I cannot play guitar, and I'm like not a great singer. So it's probably not gonna happen ever. Do you plan on playing on the Monstercat stage on Tomorrowland? No, probably not this year, because they're probably everything's set up there. But maybe at some point. Are you actually German? Yes, totally. You probably can hear that. Yeah, you did sing No, 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 though. For some reason, No, No, No sounds great, like, sounds halfway decent with my voice. I don't know what happened there. Usually when I sing, it's not that great, but it's also, if it sounds great, it's always a combination, right? It's always a combination of the right song with the right label, or the right song with the right voice. So it's very much about that. Cool. So just pure neutral as a self-releasing. Thanks for asking that question. I'm newbie in terms of releasing stuff. I have songs ready. So when you start, I would rather in the start go with a label than later on, because you have to start, like, you have to grow your audience. It's really hard to grow your audience from zero. So I would, for the start, rather go with a label. Just be careful that you don't sign any, not a deal where you commit to a lot of songs. So usually you should just sign one song and that's it. And then you can do with the next song whatever you like. So don't sign a contract where you agree to, okay, I'm going to sign this song, and then I'm going to give you 5 other songs that are not there yet, or stuff like that. So just be careful with that. And then just, try to find a label as big as you can, and also the one that really fits for what you're doing. And that should be, I would always start, especially when you're new, you should start with a label. I'm kind of jealous of your daughter, because she probably gets to listen to your songs early. Yeah, and she's totally not aware that that would be any sort of special for her. Well, that's not true. she's a little aware that like I'm on stage and a lot of people like go crazy about my music. Sometimes she just jumps up and down on the chair and like yeah, and she's like I'm dead and there's an audience, so she plays as if she would be DJing. Okay, I listened to it for a song or Infinite Power. Cool. How do you sidechain? I can't seem to find a way that gives me a good result every time. I'm either using the glue compressor in Ableton Live, where I actually sidechain, or I do this fake sidechaining with, how's it called? From Xfer LFO tool, where you pretend as if you would be sidechaining, but you're actually not. It's just an volume LFO tool from Xfer. Will the stream be saved so I can watch it later? Yes, I'm recording the stream and I will upload it as well on YouTube. It's also going to be saved here on Twitch, so you can sleep well. So someone's asking he wanted to get in creative work. And you're not a creative person. Man, that's a good question, but it's hard to tell. I mean, why would you want to get into creative work when you're not creative? Right? You should do something that you're good at. Basically, I think that's the reason why I made music. It wasn't like for the fame or the money or like I feel like not like it's like a calling for me. Like I was chosen to do so. Or it was just like, okay, it's like the one thing that I can do at least halfway decent. So I just focus on that. So that would be my advice. If you just look what you can do good and focus on that. Usually, because that usually also becomes fun when you're really good at it. Yeah. Will you visit more hidden streams? Yeah, probably. I really like them. But like I said before, I really want to focus on making music at the same time. Oh, here's a good question. Do you read books often? If so, any favorite novels? I do read a lot of books. Usually not novels, but like non-fictional books. I'm sort of obsessed with it. Like, I want to learn, understand the world. One book I keep recommending is Atomic Habits, which is great. And one that's also the reason that I read recently. It's also one of the reasons why I'm not so much on social media anymore. It's Deep Work. And as the title already suggests, it's about like really focusing on one specific thing. And that's one thing that I'm doing more at the moment. That's also the reason why I'm not so much on social media anymore, why I'm not planning to do like a lot of streaming and all those things. I just want to really, really focus on the music and like sort of get lost in the music when I make it. The real man must try any path this world has to offer. And so I decide to do things even if I'm bad at them. Must try any path this world has to offer? It's not possible because there are way too many paths. You have to choose one. And yeah, choose whatever you like. My personal recommendation is choose something where you think you're good at. Okay, so someone's asking for his indie game if he could use my music. Please send a mail to management@thearcadium.de, which is not me, but it's my team, and they will figure it out with you. Are you working on an album? Not directly. I'm working on a lot more singles at the moment. Maybe some of them will also turn into an album later on. What turntables controllers do you use? I have this ridiculously expensive setup of Nexus 2000 or whatever they're called, because they are just everywhere. Yeah, you don't have to take them with you. So I just go into a club or a festival or wherever, and they usually have them there. So all I have to bring with is a pair of headphones and my USB stick, and that's pretty amazing. Oh yeah, have you heard this amazing remix called Unity ? Yeah, I heard it. I might post that one on my main channel as well. But for now, it will just release Stronger first. So are you planning to release any music on Monstercat in the future? Not every release, of course, but if you could, would you release there again? Yes, definitely. Also, the team's amazing, and the preparation, what they're doing, and the release plan, and they're really professional and well organized, and it's a lot of fun to work with them. So whenever I have a song where I think, okay, this fits for Monstercat, I'm definitely gonna submit it to them. And if they like it, I definitely want to release more with them. Could you preview your next song and tell something about it? Yeah, I mean, I can play the song. That's the reason why we're here. I mean, the song's the reason. Let me see where it is. Tracks. Gonna turn on desktop audio.
Getting stronger every day. Keep on pushing through the pain. Keep on grinding till we die. Ain't no mercy in this life. There's nowhere left to run away. No, there's nowhere left to run away, run away, run away, run away, run Getting stronger every day. Through the bullets and the flames. But the fire's in your eyes, and there's no place left to hide. You got nowhere to run away. No, you got nowhere to run away, 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 run
Yep. That is the song. So it's, once again, a little different from what I do most, at least. It's a little harder. And that's the reason why I thought, okay, let's put this one on Monstercat. What are the biggest culprits of a muddy mix, and what's your go-to technique for cleaning it up? Hard to so there's one thing It's a ear training program. It's called Golden Ears. I recommend that. It's basically you get a ear training. So because there's not like one thing, like one magic trick that gives you a clean mix. It's more training your ears to realize what's happening. So it's called Golden Ears. It's an ear training program, and I recommend that a lot. How do you communicate with Laura Bram, and how do you give her the lyric and the notes and stuff? Wait, do you have that? No, I always promise to play you this. Give me a second. Give me a second. No, it's not there. No. So usually I write the melody, and then I have a guy called John from the UK who usually helps me with the lyrics. So we work on the lyrics together, and then I sing them and send them to Laura, like the instrumental and my version. And my version usually sounds horrible. And so I wanted to play the one for the calling, but I don't have it here at the moment. Yeah, and then I send her like the lyrics as a text and also my singing on it, so she knows what to sing. And then she sings it and records it. How to expand off or create a song out of a loop? I am never able to expand off the loops I create. Very simple technique for that. Just take a song that you really like, put it into your DAW, your digital audio workstation on the top track, and match your tempo and cut it into pieces, like every section. Like you say, okay, this is the chorus, this is the verse, or whatever, the breakdown, the drop, or whatever. And then just copy that structure. So you may say, oh, that's not creative. Yeah, you're not supposed to release everything that you copy, but you can learn by copying. So you do this with one song, another song, a third song, and after 5 songs or 10 songs, you have a good feeling for structure and how you can make a full song. And then you can just start doing your own thing. Sorry, but I must know, what headphones do you use to mix, to master? You have that one kind. Yeah, I'm now using those ones here. They're like crazy expensive. They're like 1,500 euros, I think. I'm also using Sonarworks reference, which corrects the frequency of the headphones. But the most important thing is that some headphones that you like and that you know them really well. So I produced the Dota 2 music pack on headphones that cost like $100. I just recently bought those ones. So it's really it's the most important thing is that you know them. And what's the reason why I'm producing headphones now? Because the big problem is I still have the same speakers, but whenever I move the studio, they sound completely different, right? Because it's a different room, and the room's really important for the sound. So whenever I move the studio, the sound's completely different. I have to learn the new sound again. It takes me like 6 months to adapt to the new room, and that's horrible. Like, I'm really not productive for half a year whenever I move. And so now I told, okay, I'm just going to switch to headphones, and so whenever I move, it doesn't matter anymore. No, it's not 50,000. It's 1,500. So it's $1,500, not $50,000. the headphones. How do you promote your content? What would your recommendations for beginners? My main recommendation is don't focus so much on the promotion. So for me, the start was that I Tasty uploaded my song, basically when I did my original songs, and that was basically about it. And he has uploaded a ton of different stuff, but what's really important is that your sound is unique. It's the most important thing is that you have a very unique sound, and that songs that people share your music, that it's so outstanding that they go to all their friends and say, hey, have you heard that? If you have that, the promotion doesn't really matter a lot. Do you know 8-Bit Drummer? He's a Twitch drummer who loves your music and has uploaded a ton of covers. Yeah, I recently saw him when he was trolled with that Unity ? Song. You should look up Unity question mark. I think you should find it on YouTube. And 8-Bit Drummer. Yeah, it was amazing. If you had the ability to erase one thing, person, feeling, event, or a concept from the universe without any trace or ever existing, what would that be? Good. That's a crazy question. But I don't know if I would change anything. Because you cannot erase, anything uncomfortable. Because it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't actually make a difference. I don't know if I would erase anything. I think the world's sort of perfect as it is. I would add, if I would have the power, I would add more, even better music, which is what I'm trying to do, and like more Zelda games. Favorite place you have gone on vacation to? Maldives were amazing. Kind of cheesy, but amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's the crazy thing about Maldives is the actual Maldives look better than on the photos that you see. You see the photos and you're like, oh yeah, it's like when you're actually there, it's not that great, but it's even better. All the colors of the ocean there, it's like even more intense than any screen could show you. It's crazy. And when you dive, like you just go snorkeling, and it looks as if you would be diving into like a aquariums, like all colorful fishes and like sharks, but they're not dangerous, like huge sharks swimming around you, but it's no danger, and and turtles and stuff. It's really amazing. Are you planning making more bass glitch hop songs like Doobie Doobie Doo or Dancing Naked? I'm usually not really planning my songs. I just do what comes, sort of thing. But at the moment, I feel like that. I really feel like. But the next couple releases, they will be more, almost like, more vocal, more vocalish. So more vocals in my upcoming songs. Would you rather be immortal and very poor, or only live a decade extremely rich? Then I would rather be immortal than living just a decade. And I think you can, even when you're poor, you can enjoy your life. I was poor for quite a long time as a music producer, so I know that. Which music production channel do you consider as the best ones on YouTube? What do you think about them? I like Pensado's Plays. He's usually inviting like the top producers and interviewing them. That's really amazing. If you had one thing to say to the whole world, what would you say? Probably relax. Just relax. Is there any chance to see you live in Germany? So nothing specific at the moment, but I will definitely play some shows here at some point. Ever thought of a collaboration with Alan Walker approaching Nirvana? Yeah, also I've been like in loose contact with Alan Walker for a couple of years already. So I always thought, okay, it might be fun to do a collaboration with him, even before like he became so huge now. I don't have contact to approaching Nirvana, but I could also definitely imagine that. Will you be returning to DreamHack in any capacity? I would love to. Not soon, because like I said before, I'm very focused on music production at the moment. But the DreamHack show was amazing. It was one of my favorite shows ever. The crowd was absolutely nuts. Who are some smaller artists that you recommend? Basically the ones that we have on the Arcadium. That's the reason why I released them on the Arcadium, is because I think they're amazing. One of my favorites they have was Mabea. He had just one release. I think what was the song named? Levitation, I think. Absolutely crazy song. I love that one. But all the rest as well. What genres do you usually focus on making, and do you have songs that you cancel or not going published? If so, some. So I have like tons and tons and tons of unfinished songs. I could play like 4 hours. Let me see what I have. Oh, that hasn't. No. This is even with vocals.
Stuttered and broken, missing in action. A call to attention. You've been waiting for nothing at all. Discover your courage out in the darkness. What you afraid of? You've been hiding from nothing at all. If sleep lets you down and life turns.
So as you can hear, a lot of this is horrible. But I have just this year so far have been 41 songs. Or ideas. Last year overall, I think was around 90 ideas that I made. Yeah. Also, people have been asking me. That's also a good thing. Why I've been. Hey, Timmy is online. Hi. Why I've been releasing more music? Like, what changed? So what I changed is I committed myself to release more of the songs that I produce. I was just really strict in filtering because I only wanted to release songs that I thought were absolutely mind-blowing. And that I got to the point where that really started driving me crazy. Where I was like, oh, it's not like absolutely mind-blowing, so I'm not going to release it. And then I just kept making songs, and it sort of stops your creativity when you do that. So somewhere in the end of last year, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna release one song per month, which means I still put the same effort into every song like before, and I don't make like worse songs. It just means that I release more of the stuff that I'm doing. And I personally think that will ultimately lead also to more songs. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. I mean, there are other artists, I think like Savant or however he's called. He's just like releasing everything that he does. Yeah. So for me, it's just been a matter of adjusting the filter to what percentage of the songs that I make I'm releasing. Have you ever wanted to just throw all your unreleased discarded songs in a giant mix and just throw it out there and hope for the best? No, but what I thought about, what I might actually do is make the projects and the stems public for those songs. So because the songs are, most of them are not finished or like halfway finished, but just so people could pick up the idea and make something out of it. Yeah, someone's asking. So that might be an idea. What's that Russian song you teased? I don't know which one you mean. I know which one you mean. Yeah, it wasn't Russian. It was Navi, the language from Avatar. That will be where the process of scheduling a release for that. It's going to be amazing. Really, really cool. Cool. Story behind Dancing Naked. What do you mean by story? I had the idea to do a stop motion video, basically. That was the story. And the song itself was just Was originally a remix I did for another band, and then for some reason the remix didn't happen, so I made it an original song. And then I thought, oh, I really want to do a stop motion video. If you could remix one Monster Cat song, which one would it be? Definitely a Peckbot Nerd song. Maybe Fire in the Hole. Fire in the Hole was the song that got me into Glitch Hop. So yeah. All right. So far, if you have any like pressing questions, let me know. Otherwise, okay, I'm gonna answer that. That's the last question. What was your train of thought while making Splinter? Splinter was a remix originally, and was basically the first song that I made, even though it was released so much later. The first song that I made is TheFatRat. It was just a remix. And yeah, just wanted to make like the craziest dubstep ever. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to do something else. And I switched to a completely different style. And then my management placed that one on Spinning Records. And you have to do that. And that's why it got released. It would have been one of the many songs that I personally wouldn't have it released it if not my management had placed it on Spinning Records and like pushed me to release it there. Okay. All right. Okay, one last question. One more. This question is really pressing and has given me depression, actually. How do I get past writer's block? I think writer's block is sort of a common thing for everybody who works creative. So I think the most productive thing is not to judge yourself for it. And basically what's happening when you have a writer's block is you're judging too harsh. Because it's no problem, whatever your creative work is, it's no problem to actually do it. The problem is that you're judging it so hard that you're not doing it. And the way out there is simply by allowing yourself to produce things that you think are crap, that you think are trash. That's the whole secret. So just say, okay, I'm just going to make, if nothing good comes out of it, I'm just going to make like trash music or trash writing or trash arts or whatever. Like, it's okay when it's horrible. And then just keep doing it. And sometimes it's really funny when you do that. You make something that you think why you make it is horrible. And sometimes you come back to that the next thing and you're like, oh, this is actually amazing. Or sometimes other people listen to it or see it or whatever and say, hey, it's amazing. You're like, oh, really? And then you understand, oh, actually, it's actually good. And for me, my breakout song as an artist basically was a remix for Foster the People, Don't Stop, the song Don't Stop. That was my number one on Hype Machine in early 2012. And it was also, by the way, the song that started growing NCS, No Copyright Sounds. I think they uploaded it when they had under 1,000 followers, and it became, at that time, their most viewed video. And I almost never released it because I thought it was horrible. And once again, other people said, yeah, no, let's release it. And I was like, yeah, okay, never mind. Let's release it. And then it's sort of started my career as an artist. So yeah, final words, don't be too harsh on yourself with what you're doing, whatever it is in life. And so, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I don't know when I will be streaming again, but it was a lot of fun to be here. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.